Hi guys. So we've been waiting to find out what's going on with this North Korea, USA, Iran, USA um, situation that's been escalated by President Donald Trump. Now, this is a news report from the New York Times, and it's published yesterday, October the 16th. Today being the 17th over here in the UK, as it's 2:58 in the morning. Now, what it's saying is, Seoul, South Korea, the United States military said on Monday that it would practice evacuating non-combatant Americans out of South Korea in the event of war and other emergencies, as the two allies begin a joint naval exercise amid heightened tensions with North Korea. It has conducted similar evacuation exercises for decades, but with fears rising in the South that the United States might be preparing for military action against the North, the American military issued a rare news release on Monday stressing that the non-combatant evacuation exercise was a routinely scheduled drill. The drill, known as Courageous Channel, is scheduled from next Monday through Friday and is aimed at preparing American service members and their families to respond to a wide range of crisis management events such as non-combatant evacuation and natural or man-made disasters. Man-made disasters, the United States military said in a statement. The South Korean government of President Moon Jae-in has repeatedly warned that it opposes a military solution to the North Korean nuclear crisis because it could quickly escalate into a full-blown war in which Koreans would suffer the most. United States officials said they were hoping for a diplomatic end to the crisis but would not rule out military action. And in recent months, as North Korea has accelerated its nuclear missile programs, President Trump has issued a series of comments that have stoked fears among South Korean of possible war on the Korean Peninsula. He has threatened to totally destroy or rain down fire and fury on the North, and has also said that Secretary of State Rex Tillerson was wasting his time trying to negotiate with the country. North Korea has matched Mr. Trump's tough talk by calling the American leader a mentally deranged dotard and threatening to launch missiles around Guam, an American territory in the Western Pacific, and shoot down long-range bombers taken off from the island for exercises near Korea. The United States military did not disclose how many people would participate in the evacuation drill next week, but it said the scale and focus would not vary from past versions. Non-participants across the peninsula can expect little to no disruption of daily activities on and around military installations, it said. Participants in the exercise received briefings on evacuation procedures and limited rehearsals, it said. General Vincent K. Brooks, the commander of the United States Forces Korea, said, although not directly tied to current geopolitical events, our forces must be ready in all areas. This training is as important to readiness as our other routine events such as tank gunnery and fighter wing exercises. Also on Monday, the United States and South Korea started a 10-day joint naval exercise in waters east and west of the Korean Peninsula. The American aircraft carrier Ronald Reagan is joining the annual drill, as are American and South Korean warplanes. The nuclear-powered submarine Michigan arrived at the South Korean port of Busan on Friday to join the naval exercise. North Korea considers joint military drills by the United States and South Korea rehearsals for invasion. On Friday, its officials renewed their threats to launch missiles into the waters around Guam, home to major American military bases from which the United States would send major reinforcements should war break out on the Korean Peninsula. Mr. Tillerson said on Sunday that his diplomatic efforts would continue even though Mr. Trump and Kim Jong-un, the North Korean leader, have been exchanging threats and personal insults. These diplomatic efforts will continue until the first bomb drops, Mr. Tillerson said on CNN's State of the Union. Despite Mr. Trump's rebuffing of Mr. Tillerson's diplomatic efforts, the Secretary of State said the president preferred making diplomacy a priority as an option to tame the North's nuclear ambitions. The president has also made clear to me that he wants this solved diplomatically, Mr. Tillerson said. He is not seeking to go to war. I don't believe that. In Moscow, President Vladimir V. Putin of Russia approved a package of sanctions against North Korea, fulfilling provisions of a United States resolution passed in November 2016 in response to the North's nuclear program. According to the document published on Monday, Russia banned imports of zinc, silver, copper, and nickel from North Korea, as well as exports of helicopters and vessels. It also suspended scientific and technical cooperation with the country. The document also bans exports of luxury products to North Korea, such as carpets worth more than $500 and China worth more than $100. It also included a list of people and companies that were barred from having financial transactions with Russian entities. So I wanted to read the whole report by the New York Times for you guys, because I it basically has everything in there, from Rex Tillerson saying that diplomacy will continue until the first bomb drops, which is, it sounds to me like an ominous coded message, um, and then to have the US and South Korea practicing evacuation drills, which they claim is routine, but I've never heard of them doing evacuation drills. I've always heard of military drills, and you know, with their B-1B bombers flying over the Korean Peninsula, and gunnery drills, with the tanks, and they do live fire drills and things like that. But I've never heard of a evacuation drill um, that has been, put on the schedule. Considering the calm before the storm, the coded messages from Rex Tillerson about the uh, the diplomacy continuing until the first bomb drops, and also uh, you've got H.R. McMaster saying that the US stands ready for war, and then you've got Senator Bob Corker saying that Donald Trump is putting America on the path to World War III. There's a lot of high-level officials which have access to information that we don't have, giving us veiled warnings all over the place. Um, I'm still personally focusing my attentions, most of my attentions, on November the 3rd, generally because there's a lot going on, and Donald Trump is visiting the Asian peninsula, or Korea and Japan, sorry, South Korea, Japan, China, Vietnam. I think he's also going to Philippines as well. So he'll be in the Asian peninsula from the 3rd of November to the 14th of November. It seems to me that if North Korea really want to send a message um, to Donald Trump personally, then they'll wait until he gets to the Korean peninsula, or he gets to Asia. That's from the 3rd of November to the 14th of November. We've had reports of North Korea moving their missiles out of Pyongyang and positioning them across the country. There have been satellite images of them basically working on a submarine, possibly a nuclear submarine. At the moment, the details are sketchy. But the Day of the Dead is a holiday that is celebrated in Mexico and in a lot of the South American countries. For the first time, it's going to be coming to the UK, and that's on November the 3rd. Usually the dates are October the 31st, November the 1st, and November the 2nd. So adding November the 3rd to that as a Day of the Dead in a country that doesn't normally celebrate Day of the Dead, it kind of gives me a little bit of curiosity as to why they're doing that. This year in particular, with everything that's going on, um, if I show you a Day of the Dead image, most of you will be familiar with this holiday already, as it says 2nd of November. But as I've mentioned, they're also doing it on November the 3rd. Let's have a quick look at the images that you come across. It's pretty much skulls and skeletons, and when we look into the iPet Goat video, we can see the figure of death there. In the background, we have what appears to be fireworks, but could be signs of either regular conventional bomb explosion or nuclear explosions. But also, it's fireworks night is the 5th of November, some 4th of November for some people. So we've got a date range from my interpretations of November the 3rd to possibly November the 5th. My focus being primarily on November the 3rd. I've also looked up fireworks night, and obviously that's Sunday the 5th of November. Um, the rhyme from that, most of you will know as well. Remember the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason, and plot. I see of no reason the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. So if this whole thing is a massive, massive plan that's been going on for years and years and years, then I wouldn't be surprised if that rhyme was some sort of, a hint or some sort of a indication of something possible to happen in November, and that's why we should remember it. The last thing I just want to point out is separate to um, evacuation drills taking place. And by the way, I'm not sure if I mentioned, but those evacuation drills actually take place from next week, Monday, which is the 23rd. That's kind of ominous as well because the 23rd has been coming up a lot, but we've had the 23rd of September and that went past, so I'm not expecting anything of major significance to happen on the 23rd of October. But the evacuation drills start on the 23rd and end on the 27th, and that is basically 1 week before the 3rd of November. So we're getting closer, and the closer I get to, or the closer we all get to the 3rd of November, is the more I'm finding. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. And the last thing, which is completely separate from um, the rest of this video, is on the 20th, the UK has just had Storm Ophelia pass over. She downgraded from a hurricane to a tropical storm as she approached the coast of Ireland. But then we've got another one coming towards us on the 20th. So I just wanted to give a heads up. This one looks as if it's also going to be going over Ireland, but the system is so large that it will cover the entire UK. So I'm just going to show you very quickly the storm's movement. And it just goes straight over Ireland. The whole of the UK is encompassed in it. And the eye passes, or what we can interpret as the eye passes up through Scotland. It's the exact same track that hurricane or storm, tropical storm Ophelia took this yesterday, Monday. I live in London, so the storm passed over Ireland. We didn't really feel too much. We got quite a bit of gusty wind down here, but no damage or anything. There has been some deaths reported in Ireland and some power loss. Some power loss as well. So I just wanted to bring that to the attention of everyone, particularly people living in the UK, that we do have another storm system coming our way, which is due to make landfall around the 20th, 21st, sometime early in the morning. So that's it. That's my update. Pay particular attention to the drills that are going on, the evacuation drills and the military drills that are going on exactly the same time. Pyongyang moving its missiles out of Pyongyang, the capital of North Korea, and moving it around the country, particularly on the coast facing the Sea of Japan. It could be that they actually do plan to launch a salvo of missiles, which is multiple missiles towards Guam. At the moment, from what I understand, the US military haven't actually tested knocking or exploding multiple missiles out of the air. They've literally focused on getting one missile out of the air. And as far as I understand it, it takes up to 4 interceptors to bring down one missile. They launch 4 of them, not just one. And the rate of success is far from ideal. Something around 75% success. Even though Donald Trump thinks it's actually 95% success, it's not anywhere near that. And to think that any military could knock out a salvo of missiles with 1 interceptor each is just unrealistic. So that's it for today. I hope my voice was loud enough and you could hear me on this one and there's no crackling or anything like that. I'll listen to it back and see if there is anything, I'll remake the video. But that's basically it. US evacuation drills, Pyongyang moving missiles. You've got the naval exercises going on. You've got warnings from Senator Bob Corker, H.R. McMaster, Rex Tillerson. They're all kind of trying to warn us without warning us. And as to the 3rd of November, I really don't know if anything's actually going to happen on that date. But a lot of the things I've been looking at, and other people have been looking at that I've been noticed as well, have got the either the number 3 in there, or the number 11 in there, or the number 10 in there. I feel like the number 10 is also significant. It's from what I've researched, it's the combination of 2017, which is 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 7, which equals 10. 10 is seen as a number of completion. So that's just another thing to look out for. If this year is the year that things kick off, then I suspect that it may be around this time. And the last thing, I know I said this was the last thing, but the last thing I just want to say is also the 21st of December. We've had the 21st of December as a date ever since 2012, when we believed that the Mayan calendar that came to an end, and we believed that something would happen. Um, the year to December the 21st continues to pop up every year: 2013, 2014, 15, 16, 17. Um, Whether something happens on that day again, I really don't know. That's not my main focus. I'm just letting you know that it could be, that date could also have something significant taking place. But these images are just freaky. I can't believe people actually celebrate like this, dressing up as death and skulls. Don't know what's going on with the world, but there you go. So leave any comments if you have anything that you want to bring to my attention. I can make a video on, or anything that you've come across that you might think is also interesting. I do read the comments, I do listen to what people say, and I do research on what other people say as well. I do watch videos that people post links to. At the moment, I am concentrating on everything, but this is my main focus, especially since there's a correlation directly between this freaky video of iPad Goat 2 in the imagery, and the similarity that comes up here as well. I mean, this one looks very similar to the guy, So, anyway, have a good night, guys, or good morning, or whatever it is in your country at the moment.